Warning, yandere behavior. All I needed to do was... Yorichi. I need to find him, and maybe he can help me? But where did he live again? I stopped in my tracks. I was left with going left, right, or straight ahead. I didn't dare take any turns. Left and right seemed unfamiliar. All I was left was going straight ahead now. I soon arrived near a park. Where do I go now? Should I head inside the park? Fuck, maybe I should. I headed towards the park, and from afar I see familiar houses. Maybe this is near where Yorichi is. I quickly left the park and headed into the suburbans with the familiar houses. What the hell do I do once I meet Yorichi? Go look for Blake? Where even is he right now? I don't know where the fuck the portal is. Try to remember, Yin. Try to remember. Where, fuck. I decided to keep looking around the familiar looking houses. Maybe I'll remember something. Ugh, they don't look very familiar at all. As I kept walking, I noticed a familiar store. Holy shit. That's the store where I bought some groceries from when I was living with Yorichi. My eyes widened as a glimmer of hope, and finally came upon. I frantically looked around for an alleyway I always used, a shortcut I always walked through when I was back at Yorichi's house. Yorichi will definitely help me. I need to find him and go to Blake. Second person POV. Before you could even finish your thoughts, someone grabbed your arm. You couldn't even react as they acted quickly, pulling you into the dark alleyway as they covered your mouth. Your eyes widened as your body froze. You swore you could feel the tears forming in your eyes, but stopped as soon as you slowly looked up, seeing Akaza? Your body loosens tension as you feel a little at ease, still yet on guard. What was he doing here? What seemed to be looking somewhere. He looked paranoid and a little fearful. Fuck, where is he? He muttered, which you didn't properly understand. Akaza then turns his attention towards you. I'm sorry, but you can't be here. He's looking for you. Muzan's looking for you and, fuck, I think he's already got on your detective's friend. He spoke out in a whisper. I'll remove my hand from your mouth, but promise me you won't scream or do anything rash. He added. You frantically nodded. He removed his hand that covered your mouth. It took you a second to properly process his words. Wait, detective friend? Who? Oh my god, Yorichi? Your voice broke just at an utter of his name. He slowly nodded his head. If you were a mere moment earlier, then no need for useless thoughts. We need to get out of here. He's around here. He told you. Your lip trembled at the thought of Yorichi. What the hell did Muzan do? What did he do? You asked, your voice breaking a little. We can talk about that later. We need to get you out of here first. He told you. You were hesitant, but soon nodded. Akaza had never given you any reason not to trust him. He'd been your school support. He helped you calm down when you shook your head, as you didn't want to remember Zenitsu, brushing off any thoughts of memories of him. Akaza was a good guy, right? You can trust him. Akaza held out his hand as his eyes were on lookout for Muzan. Hold my hand. I don't want you getting lost, he told you, and you did as told. Good girl, he added as you waited for his next move. Following his steps, the two of you walked around the streets quietly. The air was tense. Your body was tense. And Akaza also tense as hell. Deep down, you were praying to the gods or whatever that was up there that you did not get caught by Muzan. Unfortunately, your prayers weren't heard. Akaza. The two of you froze, and Akaza turned around to see a fuming Muzan. Akaza quickly pulled you close to him, and your breathing turned erratic as you didn't care to turn around. You felt Akaza, hand on your head. You figured it was his way of trying to calm you down. I know what you're trying to do, and I won't let you succeed, Akaza shouted. Muzan glared at him. After I fucking trust you. Muzan got cut off as he fell to the ground. Akaza successful in redacting him. His legs was fading away, turning into particles as he looked in disbelief. Muzan couldn't do anything but laugh. Fucking annoying. And then he mumbled in the last part of a sentence. I'm not allowed to say. Hold on to me, he whispered, as you wrapped your arms around Akaza's neck. He wasted no time in picking you up as he started running away, getting far away from Muzan. In a glimpse, you could see Muzan fading, you thought, as soon as you removed your eyes from him, as you just buried your face into Akaza's neck. Akaza doesn't even know how long he could run. He wasn't tired, but when it comes to you, you need to get out of here. But I can't take you to the portal. Fuck. Is it even there after Muzan already killed them? If only I had gotten to Yin earlier. She would be home by now. Fuck, he thought as he set direction on trying to take you to his house, where you could be safe for the time being. Time skip. Akaza catches his breath as you stand next to him. You look around to see the unfamiliar houses. Sorry, I had nowhere to take you, so I took you back here to my house, he told you. No, it's fine. You must know it too, right? That this world is... Your voice trailed off as Akaza nodded. You looked around. Muzan, why did he cut you off? You saw that? Fuck. Well, I don't know what to call it, but it's as if your whole experience disappears if that happens. I think that's what Muzan did to your friends, he replied. Your breath sharpened as the thought of Yorichi's demise. You didn't even know what to call it. It must have been difficult. I don't know what you've been through, but you're safe now, he reassured you. Your mind must have not bothered to listen to his words as you were still stuck on Yorichi. Yorichi, you muttered out, as tears slipped down your cheeks. Your body flinched in surprise as you felt Akaza's thumb wipe it away. You looked at him. Blake, I need to get to him, you told him. He told me something about a portal, you continued. Akaza clenched his jaw, as he knew Muzan had already gotten to him first. And that portal? It's useless. It's probably already gone by now. Akaza shook his head. I'm sorry, Yin, but the portal only lasts for a certain amount of time. A lie. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere hidden. And if Blake is already there, he must have already gone inside it. Another lie. But he believed that lie because he trusted him. You stood there, motionless, your facial expression unreadable. Akaza could sense that you were about to fall on your knees. He quickly caught you. All your hope escaped this hellhole. It's fucking crushed now. You're stuck here. You never, ever be able to get back to the real world. You won't ever meet your family, friends. Zuko, Bakugo, Shoto, Keigo, Aizawa. You'll never meet them again. You could feel tears rolling down your cheeks as you let out a hiccup. There was too much information in your brain right now. You felt so overwhelmed. You just sobbed on his chest as everything came crashing down on you. Yorichi, possibly Blake and Daki, even your friends, gone, either disappeared or forgot you. You couldn't even go back home. You didn't know where the portal was. Hell, there was a fucking time limit on that stupid fucking portal. You'll never ever get to see the people you loved ever again. You'll never ever be able to get out of this world. Everything. Is it even worth it anymore? As you kept sobbing, Akaza kept quiet as he lifted his hand rubbing your back while his right was on your head, petting you. He tried his best to try and comfort you, to rock you, to be there for you. He felt guilty for lying, but there's nothing he can do. He was left with no option but to keep you here, to keep you safe and protected. It was a nightmare, and you were at Akaza's bed, peacefully sleeping. Akaza was sitting on the edge of the bed as he moved your hair out of your face. His heart ached at the sight of your puffy eyelids and the somewhat visible tears stained on your cheeks. The tip of his finger grazed your cheek, and he let out a small sigh. I'm so sorry. I was too late. Huh. If only I were to find you earlier. It would have probably been back to your world now, with Blake. I'm sorry. His hand trembled a little guilt. I had no choice but to bring you here with me. I promise. I promise I'll keep you safe. You'll be protected by me. I promise I'll do my best to give you the best life now that you're stuck here. He continued. When it came to you, he always felt so vulnerable. And although at first he wanted to gain your trust to trap you, to make you his, but he realized how wrong it was. As soon as Muzan proposed a plan to him, Muzan, that bastard, he muttered as he remembers Muzan's plan. He planned to. You're not allowed to know this, dear listener. Listening to how deranged Muzan looked, he realized it was long wrong of him to try and tie you down, try and trap you. Now that you were with him, he couldn't even be happy. In his eyes, he failed you. He let out a sigh as he got up. He headed to the door and left to go sleep on the couch. As soon as the door lets out a soft click, your eyes slowly open. You couldn't really sleep and only had your eyes closed, but Akaza thought you were asleep, thus muttering his true feelings. You lay there on the bed, feeling grateful for Akaza, though you feel a little guilty for somewhat deceiving him. At least now you know that you truly can trust him. It had been 3 months since you started living with Akaza. It was peaceful. He gifts you flower seeds that you plant in his backyard. Gardening was the only way that, you could distract your mind from the horrible nurse's thoughts of your demising doom. You still hadn't fully accepted your fate here, but with Akaza by your side, you learned to cope, to just endure what's right in front of you. You let out a soft hum as you tend to your growing daffodils. You could hear light footsteps coming towards you, and you figured it was Akaza. Ian, he called out your name. You looked up and gave him a small smile. You soon got up and hugged him. You're back, you mumbled as he hugged you back. Within the 3 months of living with him, you grew very comfortable with him, even hugging him. He had always been by your side anyways, and he encouraged you to lean on him when you needed to cry, when you needed comfort, and when you needed warmth. That's what he gives you. He gives you a lot of warmth. You soon pull away from him. I bought us some dinner. It's roast chicken. You mentioned you were craving it? Akaza informed you. Oh, yeah. Well, I watched the TV show titled... Oh my god. I was just a waitress living in Ohio. I tried saving my grandmother who couldn't walk, but got hit by a tow truck coon in the process. The god sighed and looked at me and told me how pathetic my life was, but it's okay. I was into his degradation, so now I am reincarnated as a side character, extras villainous, and now I vow to never ever meet the male lead, but this handsome villain Duke proposed to me. He has black hair, red eyes, and has 12 back abs, and oh my god, when he growls in bed, he's so fucking hot. Now I raise a death flag on myself, but I think it's okay because the male leads are actually in love with me. but then this surprisingly main character is also in love with me, but why is everyone in love with me? Okay, phew. You tried to breathe between the words. Anyway, the main character was eating roast chicken, and it looked good. So I wanted some too, you added. He looked at you with a moment before bursting into laughter. What kind of shows are you even watching? He laughed as he headed to the kitchen, while you followed. They're entertaining, though, you replied as you grabbed 2 plates and utensils. You placed them on the table while Akaza placed the roasted chicken and rice on the table. The two of you started eating, talking about random things and such. You felt comfortable, safe, and, even protected. You were on Akaza's bed, all laid down and peacefully slept. Akaza was sitting on the edge of the bed, again, staring at your beautiful face. His fingers grazed your cheek before moving to your hair and tucking strands behind your ear. He let out a small smile at how you looked so peaceful. His hand then moved to your cheek again and cupped your cheek. His eyes widen as you unconditionally lean into his touch. His breath hitched. He couldn't really believe it. You leaned into his touch. He slowly pulled away. Akaza stared at you for God who knows how long. He felt happy and satisfied. You were slowly opening up to him, and he's grateful for that. Akaza vows to keep making you feel comfortable, all while resisting his urge. I love you, Akaza muttered as he grabbed your hand and left a kiss on it.